This movie is so close to being phenomenal. Like, it really is. But it just does not do its core characters any justice at all. My main personal issue is that its two most important characters, so Clark Kent and Lex Luthor, are not good. They're just not. They're just not. They're just not. Okay, let's start with Clark Kent, right? He's not in this movie, like, at all. He's in the beginning, right, with the debate with Lois, which my favorite scene in the movie, but we'll come back to it later. But after that, I don't think he's really even in the movie. Like, you know, he has a scene at the Daily Planet, and oh yeah, when he's talking to his parents after he gets his butt kicked. But aside from that, Clark Kent is a non-character, and that really kind of, I don't know, ruined the movie for me. But let's talk about the debate scene just a little bit, because really, when I was watching the film, right, and we were at the debate scene, I was like, oh wow, this movie is going to be exceptional, phenomenal. This movie gets Clark Kent, it gets Superman, it gets Lois Lane, but it went nowhere, right? Like, they were asking really good questions. Like, Superman was acting, you know, on his own, but he still represents America in a way, and he's doing things that Clark Kent can't do, right? So if Clark Kent had, you know, Superman and Clark Kent were the same person, and he had went over to, you know, the Palestine equivalent in this movie and did what he did, there would be far greater repercussions than him acting alone as Superman. And I thought that was it was a great point. I really love the duality of that. I thought that was really interesting. But that goes absolutely nowhere. And what that sets up, like the tone that sets up, is completely evaporated throughout the rest of the movie. Lois is, you know, telling, hey, Clark, you got to be careful. You're not just Superman. You're also Clark. And you got to kind of think about what these things do, what the messages you're sending. And then at the end of the movie, like, they have Hawkgirl, Benjamin Netanyahu, the stand-in for him, and I'm like, these two themes are not correlating at all. There's such a, I don't know, it was so jarring to me. It's like, I don't know what the message is here or what we're going for here, but I don't know, it is not cohesive. Like, for a group called the Justice Gang, there was not a lot of due process or justice in general going on. It really seemed kind of authoritative, which, I don't know, it just felt hypocritical to me. And people say, you know, what they wanted from this movie was like Superman to be hopeful and, you know, its color palette to be bright. And yeah, they did a good job. Superman is hopeful. I like the suits. I like the design. It was a good portrayal of Superman. But that's only half the character, literally, right? Clark Kent is a absolutely vital and important part to the Superman character. And really, without him, I don't know, Superman really isn't that interesting without Clark Kent. That's what I feel like most people, or maybe most people may not agree with that, but to me, Clark Kent is what makes Superman an interesting character. Because without Clark Kent, Superman is just like, you know, he's just a really strong, overpowered character they really can't relate to, right? He's the strongest character. He's the Superman. But now in this movie, we really have nothing to connect to. We have no Clark Kent, so I see no real potential for growth. And I feel like people don't really understand, like, that's what makes these superhero movies good, right? Like, so like Superman, or not Superman, or rather, so like Spider-Man 2, people praise that as the greatest comic movie of all time. And why is that? It's because Peter Parker feels like a real human being. Like, we care about his struggles. Is he going to get with MJ? Is he going to keep his aunt safe? Is he going to have to sell pictures of himself to J. Jonah Jameson to, you know, eat and sleep for that week? Like, we care about the character. His struggles feel real. They're relatable. And the Spider-Man stuff, it really is kind of the cherry on top. Overall, we're more invested as Peter Parker as a character. And that's what makes that whole Spider-Man trilogy, yes, trilogy, including 3, really, really good. It's the same reason why the MCU works, right? It's Tony Stark. So it's a bit of the inverse relationship where there's no separation between Tony Stark and Iron Man. And because of that, we get to really kind of latch on to his character development. So when we go from, I would just cut the wire, to I am Iron Man at the end with Thanos, you really kind of feel that character development and it hits you like a brick, right? And I'm very concerned that we're not going to get this in this James Gunn universe, because, I don't know, Superman right now is just Superman. We get maybe 30 seconds, aside from the debate. After the debate, we get maybe 30 seconds of Clark Kent, and I have nothing to... I'm not curious about Clark at all. I know nothing about him, who he is, what are his struggles. There's no ecosystem around him, and I'm afraid that we're gonna just get a bunch of superhero movies and with nothing to really kind of invest in. Now, as far as Lex Luthor, this is gonna be a hot take, but I think this is the worst Lex we have ever gotten. Ever. And yes, worse than Jesse Eisenberg. I really do. It's not Nicholas Holt's fault. I don't think he did a bad job. I just think what he got for a script, like his character, I don't know, abysmal. That is not Lex Luthor. What I saw in the movie was not any Lex Luthor that I would feel scared of or impressed by. It's just a bad character. A terribly, terribly, terribly written character. Lex is supposed to be calm, cool, calculating, This Lex is none of those things. He just feels like a whiny, petty, bratty baby, right? I guess some people like that. Some people really kind of resonate with that. But for me, I was not impressed by him. Like, I feel like Lex should be something that I don't know, something that, kind of like a Luciferian charm to him, where we're like kind of seduced by Lex. Like, oh, Lex kind of has a point. He's smart. Maybe he's not that bad of a person. Supposed to kind of feel that way about him, like a Joe Goldberg or a Light Yagami, right? Like, supposed to maybe feel slightly like he maybe, he's not the worst. But in this movie, I don't know, everything just feels so handed to him. Like, he just happens to have a giant kaiju, he just happens to have a clone of Superman already, he just happens to get access to his Kryptonian base of Fortress of Solitude, and happens to stumble upon a message from his parents who happen to want to, I don't know, colonize Earth in this universe. It's like, I don't know, nothing felt like it was earned, right? And because of that, I felt like he was like just a spoiled rich kid that I have nothing to sympathize with. I think the biggest example of this is like the whole central plot twist with like James Olsen and Eve, I think his name is. Yeah, Jimmy Olsen, sorry, and Eve, right? So Lex's girlfriend is secretly seeing Jimmy, and he doesn't know about it. That really when I got to that scene, I was like, so Lex Luthor just has no one tracking this woman. She's just releasing sensitive documents to anyone and everyone, to literally the Daily Planet, and Lex just knows nothing about this. And I don't know, it just felt so lazy to me. I was like, okay, this Lex is a complete goof, right? There's nothing about him that's even remotely competent. And I know, here's the thing, I know that James Gunn didn't really want to do this, or he knew it didn't make any sense, because they address it in the movie. He's like, why'd you have to come all the way out here? And she's like, oh, it's the only place Lex isn't watching, or like, it's like, I don't know. Clearly, that doesn't make any sense. He has ex-girlfriends literally in his Phantom Zone, or whatever, this boom tomb, whatever we call it. It didn't make any sense. It's like, no, that Lex Luthor would have tabs on her, especially when he has a literal Superman as a pet who can hear, like, from across the earth. Like, I don't know, it just did not work for me. I was not a fan of that plot twist. And then even if, right, so let's say, okay, Eve was smart enough to say, Lex doesn't have location tracking in this specific area. Would Lex really be dumb enough to just leave sensitive documents around where anyone could take pictures of them, right? Just out in the open and send them? Like, he doesn't have that locked down. Honestly, unless this is like a plot point in the future where Lex is like, oh, I purposely left those documents lying around so that I can get arrested and do X, Y, and Z, then I don't know. I think they honestly ruined Lex Luthor in this movie, because it just does not make sense either way. It does not. That's not his character. And then at the end, they have him crying. So, not even crying. Like, before the crying, they have him giving the most unearned, ridiculous speech of all time. Like, oh, brain beats brawn. It's like, oh my god. Like, okay, yes, you're Lex Luthor. You're smart, allegedly. Brain beats brawn. We get that. But, like, you did not earn this speech. Nothing about your character. We see no reason why you hate Superman. There's nothing about this speech that has any real payoff. And it's just like, oh, it's just so on the nose. It's like, oh, this guy's rich and hates Superman, who's an immigrant, a stand-in in this movie. And Superman's like, oh, I'm just as human as you are. And it's like, well, not really. I mean, you're literally like an alien. So, I don't know. It just wasn't. Those speeches could work, is what I'm saying. But there has to be a build-up, right? We get no Clark Kent, so we don't see anything about his humanness that Superman's talking about. We get no smart Lex Luthor. We get no reason to see why he hates Superman. We just see a whiny, petty baby that has nothing that we can latch on to, like, emotionally. So, I don't know. Not good. Oh, and then, yes, of course, the crying at the end. It's like, why are you crying? Lex Luthor does not cry, right? Like, if you watch, so my favorite Superman is Tyler Hoechlin, I think, from Superman and Lois. This Lex Luthor, not my favorite, but he's pretty good. He's menacing, he's strong, he has an emotional side to him. We get a little bit of backstory, good. Most people, they ask you your favorite Lex Luthor is, I think they'll probably say Smallville Lex Luthor. Either Smallville Lex Luthor, who was very good, right? He's the most, like, I guess, established character. Like, he's perfect, he's a really good Lex Luthor. But they'll also probably say the Superman animated series Lex Luthor, Black Lex Luthor, just kidding. But he's also, like, good, right? They kind of repeat this version of him throughout the animated movies they do, where he is calm, cool, collected, still a bad guy, but very, very suave. And these two are not the same character, not even close. Even Jesse Eisenberg, to be honest, like, I get why people hated him, but he was terrifying, right? Like, if I met Jesse Eisenberg in real life, like his Lex Luthor, I'd be like, oh, this guy is scary. I want nothing to do with him. This Lex Luthor, I just wanted to, I don't know, I didn't even want to beat him up. I didn't want to punch him. It's like, this guy is just a little baby. There's nothing about this Lex that I thought was entertaining or good. So yeah, that's it. Overall, movie, I give it a 6 out of 10. Definitely had some high points. Mr. Terrific was great. Lois Lane, I thought was pretty good for what she had to work with. Superman, in general, I liked this portrayal of Superman. But Clark Kent, we need way, way, way more screen time with him. A way better Lex Luthor backstory or something. Because right now, I don't know. I'm concerned that the future movies are going to have this sort of lack of character depth that will have nothing to really kind of have as a payoff down the line. So that was it. That's my thoughts on this movie. Overall, like I said, 6 out of 10. Could have been a 10 out of 10, really. I'm going to probably watch that Lois and Clark debate. You know, it's probably one of my favorite superhero movie film scenes of all time. But yeah, I don't know. Don't believe the hype. We got a lot of ways to go before we're near anything on the level of like the first 4 arcs of the MCU. So that's my take. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.